right now about electric red Dianthus. And these are beautiful. I just love this. This is brand new today. You are going to get all 4 of these plants for $20. That's $5 each. And just so you know, you can eat these. I know, we're going to talk about it.
Yes.
You can eat these. Okay, I'm going to just toss it to you.
Okay.
Tell me about this bright red Dianthus. What is Dianthus?
Dianthus is a low-growing plant that is great ground cover. I love it as a ground cover because it only grows to be about 8 inches tall.
Okay,
This
perfect.
is one of those plants that is a little mini, and because it's this dense bed. I mean, look at how thick this is.
Yeah.
It almost acts like a grass. And so it looks like an ornamental grass there in your garden until all of a sudden, boop, pop up these little red flowers.
Wow.
Now, typically Dianthus flowers can be pink, but when we saw this hot red, we had to grab it. First because of the color. The color is so fun in the garden, but also because this is a Dianthus that can thrive in the south. For those of you that have gardened before and you know Dianthus, you know that it traditionally has petered out in that hot, humid weather. Not this one. This one is a strong bloomer, even in those hot, humid conditions.
Okay.
So if you're in the south, particularly, this is a great plant for you.
So this is a perennial, but now if it loves the south, how does it feel about the north?
It is great in the north.
Okay. Just wondering.
No, absolutely. So it's zones 5 through 9, which means that -10. So it is fine in the north. It loves it. It's just that if you had grown it in the south, you know that traditional Dianthus didn't work for you.
Right.
Up here, it's always worked for us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Look at these. These are what is gonna get sent out to you, and 3 of the 4 that I have here of what comes to you are already blooming. Look at that.
So this is, as you can tell, a spring bloomer. So this is one of those plants that's going to bloom in the spring, but it blooms longer than other Dianthus too, which is really fun.
So like about till when?
It depends on where you live, but here in our area, it could bloom through the end of June, early July, which is fun to have this for the 4th of July too.
So if it's warmer, like down south, will it bloom longer?
Yes.
Okay, so got it. And then but even when it's not blooming, you've got all this great green ground cover.
Yeah, exactly.
Which makes you don't have to mulch as much.
Right. Would you rather be weeding or paying for mulch?
No.
Spread the sweat equity of spreading the mulch? No, I don't want to do any of that. No.
Like no, and no.
I'd rather have those gorgeous little, like really frilly flowers.
Yes.
The flowers themselves, they are about the size of a quarter. They're small, but they are like detailed. The petals have these frills on them.
They remind me of a poppy, like a little bit like a poppy, but I want to ask a couple more questions. So how far will each of these spread out? Because people are buying more than one set.
Good.
So with 4 of them, are they covering like a 1.5 or 2 feet? Or,
so each one will cover a little more than a foot. So with this, you're covering 4 feet of space. So if you're thinking maybe along a walkway, which I think would be a great place for these, because then the weeds, you know, you don't have the weeds popping up along that border where it's hard to do the string trimmer. And then it will create a nice little hedge. They're really tidy, really dense. Plant them that foot apart. They only grow 8 inches tall, which is really sweet. And they're also fragrant.
Oh, that's fragrant. Now I want to go back to edible.
Please.
How can I eat these?
So,
do I eat the grass or the flowers? I don't know.
Please eat the flowers. I have a friend who is just such a creative gardener. So I'm working on being more creative. I love planting, I love gardening, but it's then taking the things like the Dianthus. She'll freeze them in ice cubes.
Oh,
and so as you're, you know, even if it's just a lemonade, as it melts, the flour is in the lemonade. You can also put them in butter. So you can chop them up maybe with some other herbs, maybe some thyme or rosemary, and you can like thaw a butter out till it's soft, roll them in the butter, and then you freeze your butter, and then when you have a dinner party, you cut into that butter, and there are actual chunks of flowers in the butter.
How cool is that?
They have a bit of a spicy, like not hot spicy, but like a clove
kind
type
of like,
flavor.
Yeah, like if you were going to do like a, I want to say a spiced tea.
Yes,
kind
exactly,
of thing, or something like
a spiced tea. So they're more of a savory rather than a sweet flavor. You could put them in salads. So that's just a really fun.
Cloves. That's what I would say. It's kind of a little bit like a very subtle clove. Yeah.
Right, not overpowering at all. It's just a way, a fun way to have the idea of like something that's in your garden that is beautiful, that's fragrant, that crowds out the weeds, but then also just clip a few and bring them inside. You don't need to have a full big dinner party, just to enjoy things both indoors and out.
Now, what about, I would think hummingbirds would be attracted to this color.
Yep, these are a populator pollinator plant, but because they are more of that fragrant clove, that's one of those like other little tricks. Deer and rabbit do not like it.
Awesome.
Yes.
I don't like deer and rabbit eating my flowers. I like deer and rabbits. I just don't want them to eat at my house.
Nope.
I send them to my neighbors. No, I'm teasing. But the whole thing is you're going to get 4 of these and also the instructions, and all for a price tag of $20. Everything in this show is $20. I love it. I don't know if I've ever done a show like that before in my life here at QVC in 37 years. Okay, so this is that red Dianthus, if you'd like that great ground cover, brand new, and you get all 4 for $50. Okay, strawberries coming up, speaking of red. We've got some great red. How about 24 strawberry plants? We're saving that for last. So, you know, dessert comes last.
Yay!
I just ate strawberries the last 2 days because I happen to, first of all, I rarely have time to grocery shop. I really do. I send